this is a really unique thing to see all these vendors here in the same room, same stage. So far, no one's killing each other. They seem like they're getting along okay, but let's see if we can change that.
We're probably all having the same problems.
I'm putting my money on Tanya. I think Tanya's going to win the arm wrestling match or whatever.
Yeah.
All right. So just to start, and I'll open it up. I'll call on one of you for each of these, and then let the rest of you chime in as I go through these questions here that I just lost on my. Here we go.
Interesting choice of chairs, by the way. It's like an endurance competition.
Yes, it's like the.
No, we at Priority were up for any challenge. It's the others I'm sorry about that.
It's like an episode of Survivor, like a reality show. See who falls first. Let's talk about AI, and I'll start with you, Tanya, just because you presented on this earlier today. But to start, maybe talk a little bit about summarizing some of what you talked about this morning. But how is Infor building AI into its what are some of the most common use cases you're seeing so far of AI actually being used in the Infor Cloud Suite right now?
Yeah, that's a great question, and thank you for giving me this opportunity to kick it off. So at Infor, we actually have a combination of solutions. So on one side, we have embedded use cases that go directly into our Cloud Suite, so ERPs. And some of those most common use cases that we run across is product recommendations. I mean, let's just think about like a customer base, right? If you're on Amazon, right, and you look at your shopping cart, you have all those recommendations. This goes with this. Have you considered the other product? Similar case on our Cloud Suites and ERPs, right? So what they're going after our customers, in this case B2B space, and then the trained resources that need to learn from all those hundreds and thousands of SKUs, that comes in very handy. So that's some of the common use cases that we have seen across some of our industries. Obviously, healthcare has its own specifics as well. This is where we see some of the things coming in. Oh, I need to forecast, make sure I have all those syringes in time, need to make sure I have inventory optimization. So that also comes in play as well. And then when we think about our use cases, it's really maturity curve. So what are the things that we could put in embedded because they don't require so much services engagement, versus what are the use cases where you actually need a lot of hand-holding and we validate them. You can't build AI in a vacuum. You really need to make sure that you have to go back to this data, validate it across the customers. And so when we think about AI, we really see an evolution of them, just starting off with the individual customer, actually validating that it works across a combination of customers, and then we put it into our embedded offerings. And still keep on going, keep on growing. Those use cases keep engaging.
Interesting. Gil, what are your thoughts?
So in terms of AI use cases, we think about it in three buckets or categories. One is the AI assistant, which is basically helping you to do your job. If it's searching in a more of a natural language kind of interaction, like Eldad showed earlier. It can be things like drafting an email. AI can draft it for you and change the tone. I think we saw some of that this morning as well. So that's more on the assistance level, and this already exists. It's out there. We saw it this morning. Then the next level is the AI advisor, which can actually, here the intelligence kicks in. It can notice some anomalies, see some stuff, tell you, hey, pay attention here, pay attention there. And the third level, by the way, the advisor piece is coming out like in the next version, so it's already here. The next level is the agentic. It's harnessing AI in order to do more sophisticated cross-process stuff for you, actually do your job in a way. And this is not yet here, but this is where we see the market is heading.
Interesting. How about you, Dan, with Epicor? How are you seeing AI being baked into the Epicor product line right now?
So we are embedding it across our product line. Our users tend to be pragmatic, so they're not asking like, give me AI, right? They're trying to solve a challenge. And so we're looking at it to go, okay, well, what are those quick win challenges that we can solve for them, right? We're not going to go shoot for the moon. So things like forecasting, inventory control, predictive analytics, those are the kind of use cases that our customers are asking for quickly. So we're implementing those types of things. Ironically, we have a knowledge agent, which it's like, hey, yeah, we need to put this out there for our customers. And it's been getting like great love and adoption. And we had a customer who actually is a very long-term customer. He said like it's having a second brain in ERP now, right? Because of the knowledge that we can now use with AI. So again, like the use cases that we see are the ones that customers can get value really quick, right? And we're looking to embed them, whether it's agentic AI, whether it's large language models, It's, we're there to help our customers kind of the best value that they can get out of what we have today.
Right.
So.
And now, Craig, I want to ask you a little bit different spin on that same question, though. So with NetSuite being a native cloud SaaS solution and focusing on the mid-market, how are things different in the cloud environment and or with the mid-market as far as how you're seeing AI being used by NetSuite and its customers?
Yeah, it's an interesting. I was formulating my response to your first question.
And I decided to change the list.
You switched it up, but you've helped me, I think. So thank you. Yeah, so I think as from our perspective, we are cloud native. We were born in the cloud, if you will, 27 years ago, and so we've only ever thought about what it means to be running a business using cloud-based systems. Fast forward to being acquired by Oracle 2016, 2017. And not only then did we have access to the Oracle database, which we were always using from the very beginning, but all of the other infrastructure and the investments that Oracle has been making around scalable architecture and more recently the AI components. And so from that perspective, we sort of see it as our customers having a leg up, if you will, into embracing not just the cloud, but now the cloud with AI on this very powerful unified data set, which is at the heart of the suite from the very beginning. And so, the way that we approach these conversations, and these are conversations, and I think my colleagues up here will sort of agree with this. They're definitely evolving as our customers and our end users are hearing, seeing, learning about AI at events like this, and then asking the questions about how might that help me with various aspects of our business. Our approach to that is to just make the system work better because now it has the AI as part of the fabric of it built in to how we're solving those problems and how we're helping customers solve those problems, from things like recommendations and supply chain optimization through to authoring and making proposals as to how best to solve those solutions. So we're looking at it, and I think that's sort of the difference here is perhaps that we're looking at intrinsically from the ground up, from the infrastructure up, as a virtue of the journey that we've been on.
Right. Now, Scott, Infotech, much like Third Stage, is vendor neutral. I know you guys have customers that are using all these vendors and even some vendors that aren't in the room here today. From your perspective, not coming at it from a technology perspective, but just more from your end customers, how much of the AI demand is being driven by vendors versus what you think customers actually want?
Yeah, I'd say it's 90% plus being driven by vendors. So, if you look at the ecosystem, I look at it like a pyramid. At the top is like NVIDIA, Broadcom, some of your big chip suppliers. You look at NVIDIA's revenue, and maybe 5 to 7 customers comprise about 50% of their revenue, which has been astronomically, growing. Well, I should say it's growing exponentially. They have a vested interest in pushing these models out, their investments in these data centers and what they're building out. And their customers are, the vendors on this stage, along with dozens of others. The sheer scale of this investment has pulled everyone along with it. So, you don't have a choice if you're an application provider, but to be investing in AI and to find a way to build that into your product set. And if you're going to make those investments, you're now having to pay for access to those foundation models. You're now having to pay for data scientists, AI engineers, all of the infrastructure and people that go into building the products. So naturally, that's going to be a pull to the end user. And I think from the end user perspective, it's very tempting to, kind of get caught up in the FOMO of the AI hype cycle, right? And so,
100%.
But if you think about it, you have a choice of either going out and trying to directly build your own AI solutions, which a small minority of companies have the resources to do so on multiple levels. You could go out and try to do these tuck-in solutions. I think I read yesterday there's 498 AI unicorn startups right now, which is insane. The problem is 90% of those will be out of business within 5 years, and the rest will be acquired by many of the vendors on this stage, along with others. So really, if you're an end user consumer, you're going to be consuming AI from one of the vendors you're probably already buying from. So to me, you can slow down a little bit and take time to ensure that things in your contracts are addressing liability, addressing IP, addressing all of the things that are not currently being addressed for AI in your contracts with those vendors. Make sure you understand your use cases. Make sure you understand what it's going to take to prepare your data, all of the things to get ready to consume AI in a productive manner that can add, efficiency and hopefully revenues at some point to your business.
Yeah, that's interesting. Gil.
I feel to your question that customers look at AI a little bit like sushi. They want it, but they wonder if it's not too raw.
Right.
And
they want to know what's in it. Like, what exactly is that I'm getting?
So it's, I think it's our burden as vendors to show them coming back to your first question, to show them use cases that make sense. They happen to be powered by AI, but they don't really care, right? They see a feature that they like. When I go to demos and Eldad is showing them how he's doing the search with natural language, they really like it. Now the technology is the enabler, but they like what they see as a feature. So once we have the use cases that make sense, customers connect with them.